because of how they look or what country they're from? Or?
So we're actually technically not a Muslim organization. We're not like a religious
I
organization.
thought you were Muslim.
What does CARE stand for?
Council on American Islamic Relations.
American
Um,
Islamic.
But what we do is we advocate for issues that impact the Muslim community.
Okay.
So a mosque, for example, when they're applying for 501c3 status, they'll list like religious institution or organization. CARE, to my knowledge, and what happens is essentially there's CARE National, and then there's 34 other or 33 other offices and chapters throughout other states. And I don't know of all of their application processes, but to my knowledge, not all or not any of the CARE chapters are actually identified as religious organizations. But again, that's my knowledge, my limited knowledge of what's happening in California. So that's one thing I would say. The other thing is when dealing with issues that impact the Arab community, I had talked about like Arab Coptic Christian that we're representing. That individual kind of had to go through the incident that he did because he was mistaken for a Muslim. And what happens is we often do represent people who are Arab or and not Muslim and are Christian or are Iranian or Jewish and Sikh. And again, we do that because they face the same byproducts of Islamophobia and anti-Muslim sentiment. And that's how we interact with them. And that's mostly on the civil rights side. And then on the policy side, one thing that we've done a lot of work with the Sikh community and the LGBT community is like anti-bullying work and trying to pass anti-bullying laws statewide. Because if you look at it statistically, I think LAUSD just came out with numbers. Elementary students face bullying. 1 in 5 elementary students faces bullying, and 1 in 4 high school student faces, so at a rate of 20 and 25%. But when you look at it, Muslim students, Sikh students, and LGBT students face bullying 50% of the time. So 1 in 2 students essentially is facing bullying. So those are kind of actions that we take that stems again to the greater American community and civil liberties issues as a whole. So that's how we really interact with our community.
Is there an Arab American organization?
Yeah, there's the Arab ADC.
Arab American Civic Council.
And there's Arab American Civic Council in Anaheim. There's a national organization, ADC, I forget what they stand for. And they do a lot of advocacy and, again, similar civil rights work for the Arab community. But they serve, like when the Muslim ban issue occurred, they were at the airports too. So that's kind of the information I have. Any other questions? Go ahead.
So this might be, I feel like I'm kind of taking a little bit of a step back from your question, and I'm new to learning some of this stuff. So I understand that, so there's several questions in one here. I hear Islamophobia, and then I also hear, so then sometimes people will say, but it's, I'm not opposed to a race, it's not racism, it's about religion. And so I'm seeing a lot of like these overlapping layers between religion and race. And then what you just brought up about Arab Americans, and I see a lot of people that conflate Islam with Arabs, which is not accurate because there's a lot more diversity, racial diversity within Islam. And I'm wondering if you can just kind of give me a primer on like the terminology and like what we should be talking about, and is it racism, or if it's not racism, what is it, to be biased against a particular religion, or is that kind of all mixed together?
Yeah,
I mean, it does get mixed together.
Yeah,
So I don't know,
it's a great question, honestly. The issue of racism, because of the impacts it has on certain populations and communities, that has been very identical to what like anti-Muslim sentiment and Islamophobia has, is again, that term is used synonymously. Again, like you're going to get differing opinions on what it is. A lot of people say it is a form of racism. The term that we use at CARE most often is Islamophobia and anti-Muslim sentiment.
Okay, that makes sense.
And just kind of trying to pinpoint it a little bit better. But I think the end result is the same. You're judging a large group of people based off of certain stereotypes that often don't have foundation.
Yeah.
And that's what racism boils down to. But it is confusing, and you're going to get different responses within the different lawyers that care and individuals outside that care and how they respond to that.
And like, I want to be able to talk about it accurately and not use, I don't know, not conflate things that I shouldn't be conflating or whatever when if I'm trying to speak in an educated manner.
And then the other aspect of it is you're going to have, if a black Muslim is treated disproportionately, there's going to be issues of racism, anti-Islamophobia, and anti-Muslim sentiment all mixed in one, which kind of goes back to the diversity of the Muslim community and how there's multiple issues that oftentimes we're dealing with. And it's hard to compartmentalize and be like,
Right.
oh, this easily falls into this category or this falls into that
How
category.
would you define Arab American from which countries? I'm just curious.
Yeah.
I'm no census expert or anything, but I
Anyone
would.
who speaks
Uh,
ours?
no, Arabic. So
Okay.
yeah, so Iranian speaks Farsi, and you have a population of from Afghanistan who also speak Farsi or Dari. But anyone who speaks Arab, I guess that could be one measure. I honestly, I prefer not to talk about something that I don't have expertise in.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, yeah. Unless someone's edited it recently where it's not accurate. The air conditioning turned on for a second, and I thought maybe you
No,
guys
it's
took me
very
off the
hot.
hot seat,
It's very
but I
hot.
guess not. It turned back off. Are there any other questions that I can answer?
Oh, I don't know.
Sure.
Do you ever have any dialogue with the growing number of ex-Muslims in North America? There's a growing group that I've been paying attention to on Facebook that have left Islam. And they have their own momentum and movement.
So the way I've interacted, and I don't want to say I've interacted with any group of individuals who've left Islam, but within the Islamophobia industry, one thing that has occurred is someone leaves Islam and they'll publish a book and it sells like hotcakes because they come and they put it on their website and it's like, look, this Muslim isn't Muslim anymore and X, Y, and Z is Y. And I think at one point I received one of those books in the mail addressed to me, and I took a quick look at it, and it's just, and then you look at like who the publisher is, or how that book is being sold, and it goes back to one of 30 organizations that's making about $130, $150 million a year doing that. So as a civil rights organization that advocates for Muslim community, the only interaction I've had with that is in that context. If there is a large group of individuals who are leaving Islam, I really haven't interacted with them. At the same time, I know Islam is the largest and fastest growing religion in the United States. So people are probably leaving and coming to the faith as they please and as they have the right to do. Other than that, I'm not really sure how.
I know a lot more ex-Catholics. Don't you? And they never get questioned.
No, that's true. True.
Yep.
Well, thank you very
No
much.
problem.
Good, I can give you this.
Oh,
You
awesome.
remember your visit to us.
Very cool. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Very nice. Thanks, everyone.
Who wants to go outside to get cool?
Yeah.